Now, Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts with breaking news.
We open the show with breaking news. SU says former Georgia football assistant coach Fran Brown will now take over as the new head coach of Syracuse football, replacing Dino Babers. And we are just learning these details now as we come on the air. And joining us live tonight from the JMA Wireless Dome is our sports anchor, Carson Fowler. Carson, what do we know tonight?
Yeah, John, so just recently, Fran Brown was announced as the new football coach at Syracuse. So a couple of security guards outside the JMA Wireless Dome said they put it up on the Jumbotron. Here's what we know so far. Announced today, he will be officially announced next Monday. So he won a national championship with Georgia in 2022, served as defensive backs coach there. Prior to being at Georgia, he was with Rutgers, so originally from Camden, New Jersey, knows the recruiting region well, that being the Northeast New Jersey area. Young guy, 41 years of age, SU hoping he will be that spark to lead Syracuse football into the future. I'll read out a statement he gave earlier today. He said, "The success of my players is my #1 priority on and off the field. I want my guys to succeed in life because they played football at Syracuse. My immediate area of focus is building a relationship with my current players and putting together an elite staff while also having fun on the recruiting trail. I'm ready to get to work, and I look forward to building something special for our fans here in Syracuse." John, that's all I got. Back to you.
Put the ivy behind you. Put the ivy behind you.
That's okay. Don't take it. You're different.
And welcome back here into News Live at 6. We're outside in the snowy tundra, right? It's almost like we're in Green Bay, right? It's the frozen tundra. Well, it's Syracuse, Jake.
Oh, my God. I mean, pretty typical for Syracuse, but really the first big snow of the year. I feel like I'm being assaulted by the snow as we were standing out here waiting for John to come out of studio. But, you know, that's why we've got our top weather guy, Brandon Myers, here to tell us all about the snow that's incoming, your driving conditions, any of that stuff. Brandon, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, you know, as you can see behind us, it's snowing. Obviously, Syracuse is living up to its name. It's certainly very
Well, that was
snowy out.
uncalled for on Tuesday News here. Come on.
If you can feel anything on your face or your feet, right now it's 29 degrees out. Obviously, it's snowing, naturally. And we also seeing some very strong winds at about 14 miles per hour. Now, we do have a lake snow warning, in effect currently until tomorrow morning. So we're going to be seeing the snow all night. We're going to see about 5 to 10 inches. And of course, with this strong snow, we're going to be seeing some icy roads. We actually saw some crashes right outside where we're standing earlier today. So it's certainly very dangerous out right now to be driving. Now, across our region, you know, you can't really escape it. We're pretty much seeing high to low 20s all over the place, and it's going to be going even colder later tonight. It's going to be going down to 27 degrees, but certainly feeling all of the cold right now.
And Brandon, we were talking earlier, and we were saying there's a chance that this snow doesn't come, right? We left the station around 3 o'clock. Looked like the sun was coming out. Looks like Mother Nature had other plans, right?
Absolutely. I was changing earlier today, and I was walking to my dorm, and I noticed, oh, wow, you know, it's actually kind of nice out. I don't think it's going to snow. Well, right now, I'm being proven so wrong.
My car was covered once I got out of class today. I mean, I had to pull out the snow brush. I was not too happy about that. But, you know, if you guys can hear me at home, there's a lot of snow on my mic. But as Brandon said, stay safe on those roads out there, and we'll get through this first big snow of the year.
Yeah, we're getting through the first snow of the year. There's nothing like that. Now, back in our warm and cozy studio, we can find Caitlin Campbell, who's going to break down Giving Tuesday. It's one of CSEM's events of the year. Caitlin's in studio. Caitlin.
Thanks, John. Definitely warmer in studio here. Well, here at Syracuse University, CSEM is celebrating their annual Giving Tuesday event. The club is fundraising throughout the day with various on-campus activities to get all students involved. Now, this is a great opportunity for people to donate for a great cause. It is a on-campus chapter of part of a national organization to raise money to support a fully funded week of camps for children whose parents have been affected by cancer. I got the chance to talk with a few CSEM leaders about the event and about the week.
They're a super fun way just to kind of meet people in Kesem in general, because you don't have to be a counselor to be involved. You can just come to meetings, you can come to events like this, and everyone's going to be like super amped up and excited, and just like very fun and friendly vibes. And I would say like at like the programming throughout the day, it's just going to be like a bunch of people stopping in throughout the day. And then for a power hour, which is our like 7:45 to 9 p.m., it's like our biggest fundraising, kind of that final hour where we just push to get as much as we can. So we'll be split up into teams and just like doing a bunch of activities to try to get as much as we can that last hour.
And while Kesem camp is only a week long, the memories last a lifetime for sophomore Riley DeMayo.
So one thing we do is warm and fuzzies, which is like it's basically like a compliment for someone, and at the end of camp we write them for all our campers, and campers can write them to each other. So we write them on like little pieces of paper. I just keep this next to my bed because I tell myself, like, on the days where I feel like so defeated and I didn't do anything, like I made such a huge difference in this kid's life.
Now, donations are still open, and people can head over to the Power Hour later tonight at 7:45 in the Life Sciences Building to raise money for a great cause. Reporting in studio, I'm Caitlin Campbell.
Caitlin, thank you for your reporting. Well, Verizon Wireless customers now have access to a 5G network at the JMA Wireless Dome. The new network will make the Dome the most connected collegiate stadium in the U.S. and will provide high-speed coverage from everywhere in the stadium. The university is actively working to make the 5G access available to AT&T and T-Mobile members.
Holiday nights are back at the Rosman Gifford Zoo beginning Friday, December 1st. Locals will be able to enjoy the zoo's annual holiday celebration. Festivities include themed displays, live music, holiday shops, ice carvings, and some visits from Santa. That's definitely one of my favorites. Friday's carolers are Dr. Tom Dooley, Corliers, the Cats Meow, and Harmony Cats. And the market exhibitors this weekend are AIT Said Creations, Cindy's Gift Solutions, Sloppy Kisses Dog Treats, Settervale Farm Alpacas, and X Altered LLC.
And a former SU student has filed a lawsuit against the university, fraternity Sigma Chi, and sorority Delta Delta Delta. The student says she was drugged and raped at the fraternity's chapter house in 1991. Defendants in Greek life as well as the university are being sued for negligence. The lawsuit names the current Sigma Chi president and treasurer as well as the current Delta 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 president and treasurer. The former student and the man accused of rape are named under pseudonyms in the lawsuit.
And this comes because of New York's Adult Survivors Act, which expired last week. Under the law, the statute of limitations for sexual assault crimes was suspended. The law allowed more than 3,700 legal claims to be filed, many cases naming celebrities and politicians, including Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, Rudy Giuliani, and Jamie Foxx, to name only a few.
And a former Syracuse resident was found to be potentially connected to the shooting of 3 Palestinian Americans near the University of Vermont this weekend. In a press conference held yesterday, Burlington Police Chief, John Murad, spoke on the investigation that led to the arrest of 48-year-old 4 hours after he allegedly opened fire on 3 men from his apartment porch. 2 of the young men were struck in their torsos, while the other one was hit in the lower back. All 3 are being treated at UVM Medical Center.
And a 20-year-old man is now recovering tonight in the hospital after a shooting on South Salina Street yesterday. Syracuse police responding to a shooting yesterday around 3:25 in the afternoon at a home on the 200 block of McLennan Avenue. From there, officers located the 20-year-old who was shot in the leg. The victim was transported to Upstate Hospital, where he is expected to survive.
And Mayor Ben Walsh is creating a housing trust fund corporation for developing housing and distributing funds. The fund will serve as a bank-like corporation, which will grant money to organizations in an effort to close the housing market gap. The fund will be run by a board of directors who will decide how the money is spent. There's no set budget for the housing fund yet, and Walsh hopes the plan will be approved by December.
And still to come on News Live at 6, a new law passed to keep young athletes safe and a recount called 3 weeks after Election Day. Stay with us.
Jason? Let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Jake Morel, John Perik, and Brandon Myers. Now, your campus news leader continues.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. New legislation passed in New York is creating a safer environment for youth sport programs to practice and play. Here to tell us more about the AED requirement is our reporter, Morel.
Thanks, John. It's good to be back in the studio. And over this Thanksgiving break on Friday, Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation that now requires youth sports programs with more than 5 teams to establish an AED plan, which implements automated external defibrillators to be present at all practices and games in case of cardiac emergencies on or off the field. And to local Syracuse high school coaches such as Scott Cotter, this is a necessary step in their youth sports programs to ensure the safety of their players.
It was used and it saved, a kid's life right there on a football field on a Friday night where, we recognize those moments a lot of times as a coach myself or as a former student athlete. Those are the greatest moments of our childhood and the memories that will last forever and how quickly that can change. But fortunately, it was the night that, the ending was a positive outcome because of the equipment that we had on site and the ability of people to use it and do what we needed to keep his, to keep him alive.
Now, this legislation is heavily supported by Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who suffered cardiac arrest last February against the Cincinnati Bengals upon being hit in the chest, luckily receiving treatment from an AED device. Hamlin states about this legislation, quote, "My journey has shown us that no one expects cardiac arrest to happen, and we all need to be prepared. By requiring that at least one person is trained to properly use an AED at every sports event, camp, and practice, this new law will help protect tens of thousands of kids in New York State and is a really important step in saving lives." Now, Scott Cotter tells me that the process is very simple to go through certification for an AED and that they're fairly simple to use. And to quote Scott, "In the long run, this is life or death. We would do anything for our student athletes because most coaches see our athletes as an extension of our family." And according to CNN Health, 7,000 kids under the age of 18 experience cardiac arrest every year in our country. So although the question remains as to why it took so long to implement an AED plan, the process of implementing plans for a safer New York youth sports is happening. For now, that's all from me. Jake and John, back to you.
Maura, great stuff. Thank you. Election day was 3 weeks ago, but one race is still too close to call. The election for Onondaga County Clerk is just a few hundred votes apart, and a full hand recount of the 99,000 ballots started today and is expected to last all week. Our political reporter Luke Radel is here to discuss. Luke, good evening.
Hey there, Jake and John. One of the key questions that can keep people from getting out to vote is this: does my vote really matter? And as your resident political nerd, I'm happy to tell you that yes, it does. But here in central New York, in just the past few years, we've had several examples that prove it. Let's just take a walk down memory lane. The year was 2020, and this was New York's 22nd congressional district. In the days and weeks following the election, as the presidential race was coming to a close, the race in NY22 was still within just 109 votes. But by February, a judge in Oswego County had ruled that the election is over because state law at the time did not allow for a full hand recount. The victor, Republican Claudia Tenney, says that she overcame a concerted effort to, quote, steal the election from her through election fraud, despite the court ruling that there was no fraud in the process. However, her opponent, Democrat Anthony Brindisi, released a statement on the day of the election being certified, saying that he was, quote, shocked by the decision and that he believed a full audit and hand recount was, quote, the only way to resolve this race. With the margin so thin, he continued, we have to get this right. The following year, a new state law was enacted that mandates a full manual hand recount of all ballots for any contest where the margin of victory is 0.5% of the vote or less. And Onondaga County put that law to the test right here last year in the race for New York's 50th state Senate district. Democrat John Mannion ultimately beat Republican Rebecca Sheeroff by just 10 votes. Double digits on that margin there, guys, which is well below the 0.5% window. The process took until mid-December as election workers meticulously scanned each and every ballot by hand. And though she lost, Sheeroff tells me that she has nothing but praise for the folks who recounted all of those votes.
It's a thankless job. They put in so many hours. It is so much work. It's very stressful. And I actually am going to be helping out, I think December 4th or something, with the recount, because so many people stepped up to help me. You know, it's the least I can do. But I will tell you, these Board of Election workers, they worked their tail off.
So today in Onondaga County, that process starts all over again with a full hand recount of the county clerk's race. Democrat Emily Essie currently leads her opponent, incumbent Republican clerk Lisa Dell, by just over 300 votes. In a statement to Citrus TV earlier today, Essie tells me she is, quote, confident that her lead will hold and that she's grateful to the election workers for their tedious work throughout this process. Guys, that's all I have for you this week, but I'll see you next week for a very special final story on our Final Two's news. Until then, Jake, be sure to watch out for those snowballs.
Luke, I'll keep my head on a swivel. I guess I got to learn that. But moving on to some more top stories. Utica tonight is without a school superintendent. Last week, former Utica school superintendent Bruce Karam was arrested for using school resources and money to pay for political campaigns, and he was fired today. The decision was made yesterday during a special Utica City School District Board meeting where the board voted 5-2 to terminate Karam. Karam served for more than a decade as the superintendent until being placed on administrative leave last October.
And next time you drive, you may want to think twice about speeding. Automated speeding ticket zones are coming to more than a dozen locations across the state, including the Hudson Valley, spots in Long Island, as well as New York City. Cameras use radars to take a series of pictures that record time, speed, location, and license plates.
First-time violators will be hit with a $50 fine. If you get caught a second time in 18 months, a $75 fine is coming your way. And any violations after that will be a $100 ticket. Tickets will come through the mail and can be paid and disputed online. John, not good news for you.
Not good news for me. Guess I got to put the foot off the gas, right? Hey, Brandon, what's coming up next on weather?
Thanks, John. Well, I'm certainly glad to be inside. Well, coming up after the break, I'm going to have your full 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. never give up till they buckle up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to CitrusTV News, where it's certainly good to have all the winter coats off. Let's take a look here at our 5-day forecast. Now, as you saw outside earlier, the snow is really bad and it's certainly very dangerous out, but luckily it's not going to be continuing too much into tomorrow, where it's just going to be cloudy with a high of 33 and a low of 29. Thursday, it seems to be the only part of the week where we are actually going to see some sun. It's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 46 and a low of 40. Unfortunately, moving into the weekend, we are going to be seeing a lot of rain with same as those cool temperatures. On Friday, it's going to be a high of 42 and a low of 33. Very similar on Saturday and Sunday, with Saturday being a high of 43 and a low of 39, and then Sunday being a high of 43 and a low of 35. So it's certainly not looking very good into our weekend. Let's take a look now at our weekly radar. Now, as you saw outside, rather, there was a lot of snow, but into our weekend, we're seeing all of this rain slowly come into our region, and that's going to make the roads very dangerous, especially as we have all those cool temperatures. Ice could be starting to form. Driving, I certainly wouldn't recommend it, especially as all with those icy roads, and even walking on campus seem to be very dangerous. So we're definitely seeing a lot of activity move into our region into the weekend. Guys?
Well, thank you very much, Brandon. Now, Jake, Syracuse, they were in Hawaii for basketball over Thanksgiving break. Well, they're back here in the Dome tonight against LSU. I'm sure they're not liking the snow, but they're definitely going to be trying to like a nice victory tonight. Carson Fowler's got sports next.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Carson Fowler, joining you from outside the JMA Wireless Dome, where Syracuse basketball getting ready to square up with LSU for the ACC SEC Men's Basketball Challenge, actually the inaugural of this challenge. But before we get to that, Syracuse took a trip to Honolulu, Hawaii. We're going to recap all the games down in Hawaii. So, Syracuse, a perfect 9-0 coming into the Maui Invitational, put that record to the test in the first matchup against the 7th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. SU won the tournament in 1990-98 and most recently in 2013, but fell short in its trip in 2023. The 2023 Maui Invitational field absolutely loaded this year. Kansas, Purdue, Marquette, and Gonzaga among the top teams. Syracuse left Honolulu 1-2 with losses to Tennessee and Gonzaga, with a win versus Division II and tournament host Chaminade. 7 double-figure scores for the Orange but Silver Swords. Chris Bell led the way in scoring in 2 of those 3 games. Syracuse returns to the JMA Wireless Dome tonight against LSU for the SEC Challenge. The Orange and the Tigers have met only 2 times ever. Syracuse defeated the Tigers last February 16th in 1985. The Orange, ranked number 8 in the country at that point, defeated the Tigers 76-64 rather. The Tigers coming off a 3-game win streak. Those wins coming against North Texas, Wake Forest, and North Florida. LSU was led by Nevada transfer Will Baker, a 7-foot senior who leads the Tigers in rebounding and scoring. So, of course, sophomore point guard Judah Mintz, still the catalyst for the Orange. 18 points per game and a little over 4 assists. So, big matchup coming for Syracuse. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m., but that's all I got now. Enjoy the game. John, Jake, back to you guys.
Well, Carson, I hope you get inside and warm up quickly. And coming up next on News Live at 6, our weather anchor Brandon Myers takes one final look at your wake-up weather. Stay with us.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we do have that winter weather warning in effect until tomorrow morning. But luckily, as I mentioned earlier, we're not going to be seeing the snow all day tomorrow. It's going to be 40 degrees out, mostly cloudy, seeing a little bit of sun, as well as 10-mile-per-hour winds. So definitely, it's going to be a little bit cool out. Certainly, it's time to bring out the winter coat and be careful for those roads tomorrow, as we may still see a lot of the snow on the ground.
All right, I'm looking around the studio right now trying to find some tissues. I can't find any. But
Can we get those from the control room, please?
Yeah, we might need the tissues in a minute because today's a bittersweet day. We're saying goodbye to one of our own.
That's right. Our chief meteorologist, Brandon Myers, is off to bigger and better things. Brandon will be taking over as our news director on Friday, which means he will no longer be here to tell us our weather. Brandon, I just want to be the first one to say congratulations and how proud of you I am and how far you've come on Tuesday News.
I've certainly enjoyed my time here a lot. You know, you won't be seeing me in front of the cameras, but, you know, I'm always happy to hang around every Tuesday.
It's been a pleasure, Brandon. I do, though, disagree with a lot of your forecasts, but thank you very much, and I can't wait to work alongside you as our news director. Well, that's it for your Tuesday news here on Citrus TV.
For all of us at Citrus TV, I'm Jake Morel. Have a great night, Syracuse.
And I'm John Perik. Take care.